This morning, we're going to enter through this gate, and this gate is called the Sheep Gate during the time of Jesus. Because during the time of the Lord, a lot of the Galilean Jews would travel for about a week to come here to Jerusalem. And the first thing that they look for would be water to water their sheep. And so during the time of the Lord, they would pass through here all their sheep and goats. And because right here, through this gate, there is Bethesda Pool, where there's plenty of water for their sheep and goats. But right now, this is called the Lion's Gate. If you look here, we have the lions, which is because the Lion of Judah is the symbol of Jerusalem. The seal of Jerusalem is the Lion of Judah. But in the past, this same gate is also called Stephen's Gate. Stephen's Gate because right at the bottom of this hill, according to tradition, this is the place where Stephen was stoned to death, the first martyr of the church. Scripture in relation to this place, which is the healing of the paralytic man at Bethesda Pool. And it would be from the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verses 1 to 9. John chapter 5, verses 1 to 9.
Yeah. John chapter 5, verses 1 to 9. Cure on a Sabbath. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem at the Sheep Gate a pool called in Hebrew Bethesda, with 5 porticoes. In these lay a large number of ill, blind, lame, and crippled. One man was there who had been ill for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had been ill for a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be well?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. While I am on my way, someone else gets down there before me." Jesus said to him, "Rise, take up your mat and walk." Immediately the man became well, took up his mat, and walked.
Okay, we are right now at Bethesda Pool. The Bethesda Pool is located a little bit more inside, but this is a quiet corner, and that's why I'd like to explain the biblical and historical significance of this place. Now, Bethesda Pool. Bethesda comes from 2 Hebrew words, Beit Chesed. Beit means house. Chesed means mercy. The house of mercy. There used to be a pool here, and it is not an ordinary pool. A lot of people with various diseases would sit around the pool. Why? Because every now and then, the angel of the Lord would come and stirs the water. The first one that jumps into the water gets healed. And so nobody knows when the angel would come. So at night or during the day, they're always looking at the water. And whenever they see that the water gets stirred, the first one that jumps into the water gets healed. Now Jesus came here. Jesus remembers the sick. There is something that was read this morning. The Lord is very near the brokenhearted. He remembered the sick. And so he came here right at the pool. And while he was here, he saw a lot of people with various diseases sitting by the pool. And he took notice of the paralytic man. He went to the paralytic man and said to the paralytic man, "Do you want to get healed?" The paralytic man did not say yes. He did not say no. But he expressed his frustration. He expressed his frustration. It says in the Bible, and also St. Augustine said, "The mouth speaks what the heart is full of." And so this man is filled with frustration. So he expressed to the Lord instead his frustration. And what he said to the Lord, "Lord, but each time that water gets stirred, somebody gets there ahead of me." When you think of the paralytic man, He is actually a hopeless case, right? Why? Because he is there sitting. And although healing is at arm's length, when the water gets stirred, he cannot move. And therefore, even though healing is right there, he is actually a hopeless case. He will never get healed in spite of the fact that healing is right there at arm's length. And yet, of all people that's around there, by the pool, waiting to be healed, the Lord took notice of him because he is a hopeless case. Now, I just want to tell you, when you find yourself in a situation when you are in a hopeless condition, that even your money cannot help you, even your loved ones with all their good intentions cannot help you. When you find yourself in a hopeless situation, in a most desperate state, that's when the Lord is near. That's when the Lord takes notice of you. And all you have to do is actually just wait for Him to speak to you. He will tell you something. And on that day, the Lord gave a word to this paralytic man and said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat," and walked. And he got up and he picked up his mat and he started to walk. I would like to encourage all of us, because sometimes the Lord allows us to be in a most desperate state. Remember this, that's when the Lord is most near. I love the reading this morning. The Lord is near the brokenhearted. He is really nearest to us when we are most broken and when we are in the most desperate state. That's when the Lord is most near. This is where the pool used to be. Now, if you look at it, the green one, if you go further down, the street level during the time of Jesus is much lower than where we are right now. Because of the wars of Israel, tabon-tabon, ano? And so, but the pool itself is lower. And what happened here? 100 years after the time of Jesus, there was an emperor, a pagan emperor whose name is Hadrian. And he made Jerusalem a pagan city and called it Aelia Capitolina. And so Hadrian actually built pagan temples at the very place, the places where the Jews and the Christians considered to be sacred. At the place of the temple, he built a temple to Jupiter and also to Venus. At the place where Jesus was born, he built a temple to Adonis, the lover of Venus. At the place where Jesus was crucified, he built a temple to Jupiter and Venus. And here, at this place, he built at the place where Jesus healed the paralytic man, he built a temple to Asclepius, the pagan god of healing. And so you could imagine the pool was here, and then he built a big temple to Asclepius. You can see there, Asclepian temple. Can you see it? So that is a part of the foundation of the temple that was built over the Bethesda Pool. It was built over the Bethesda Pool. And then the Byzantines came. When the Byzantines came, they saw this pagan temple. They destroyed the temple, and all the ruins of the temple fell over the pool. And so they built a church on the ruins of the pagan temple. This is the front of the church. And we have here a pillar from the Byzantine period. And so there was a big church here that was built over the ruins of the Asclepian temple that was built here by Hadrian, and that was built over the Bethesda Pool. Then after that, the Persians came 614 AD, and they destroyed the church. That's why we don't have the church anymore. And then the Crusaders came. The Crusaders came and they built this chapel over here. They built the chapel and also this church. You look here at this church. This church was built by the Crusaders, and they call this a Saint Anne's Cathedral in honor of Saint Anne, the mother of our Blessed Mother. And they say that this is the birthplace of Mary. This is not the birthplace of our Blessed Mother. Our Blessed Mother is a Galilean woman. She was born in Galilee, and they say it's probably Tzipori or Nazareth. So our Blessed Mother was not born in Jerusalem, but they say that this is her birthplace. Why? Because during the Crusader period, a lot of the pilgrims would come, and they do not have enough time to go to Galilee. They also do not have enough money to go to Galilee. And so they wanted to remember the Blessed Mother, and so they built this church. The Crusaders built this church, called it St. Anne's Cathedral, and say to people that this is the birthplace of our Blessed Mother, but this is not the birthplace of our Blessed Mother. Okay, now this particular church itself became a madrasa. Madrasa means a place for Quranic study during the days of Salahuddin. Salahuddin conquered the Crusaders, and so he came here, and this church became a place for Quranic study. And then afterwards, during the Turkish period, the Turks gave this property as a gift to France for helping them during the Crimean War. That's why we have there the flag of France. And this place right now is being taken care of by the French White Fathers. So we'll see them. We see them every now and then. The fathers, the White Fathers, they are the ones who are taking care of this property. Now we're gonna go inside. We will sing, and then after we sing, Father Jerry, nasaan si Father Jerry?